Good morning. This is Steve Stefanides with Coastal Breeze News. On behalf of Val Simon, our publisher and owner of the paper, and all the staff here, we want to welcome you to this morning's chat with Tamara Goehler, who is a candidate for Marco Island City Council. First time to run for council too, right?
That is correct.
Yes, okay.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, I hope so. It's quite a process to go through and meet so many new people and hear from them and their desires. So thank you for taking the time to do that, because it does take a lot of personal time from somebody. Anyhow, we've got some questions for you, but first I want to give you about 2 minutes to give the citizens out there an idea of who you are. And go ahead.
My name is Tamara Goehler. I'm originally from Soviet Union, moved to this lovely country in 1992. In 2021, we moved, my husband, myself, we moved from DC area for a quiet living. And I've said this several times, that once we crossed the bridge, the magic happened. We discovered this absolutely charming little town that we started calling home, and that's how we ended up in here. And best of all, we moved from DC area to get away from all the politics, and here I am. So I'm honored to represent all of you.
Okay. Now we've got some questions for you, and there are no right answers or no wrong answers, okay? It's just your opinion, and you can speak to the general public here. What are the top 3 issues, in your opinion, facing residents today on the island, and how would you approach those issues and to try to help out residents here?
Originally, I got involved in politics due to STR, short-term rental, next door from me. I think the top 3 issues are still unregulated short-term rentals, I would say. Water quality is absolutely very important to our residents. And I think also the trust between the local government and our residents needs to be improved.
And how would you approach those?
Short-term rental issue, I believe that we need to regulate it better. We need to ask for registration. The registration has to happen. And I think we need to also put a leash on the misbehaved and unchecked short-term rentals. We are here to protect the quality of life of the residents. We want to also everybody has a right of ownership, just short-term rental owners and the homeowners, but we also have to have respect between the two of them. So code enforcement needs to do a better job, in my opinion, and the registration for the short-term rentals is very important.
Okay, that's one.
Water quality, we are water quality candidates, and here is the reason. We've done several researches. We have attended a water testing on Gulf Coast, and we have done we read the Dr. Harper report, we read the Jacobs report, and we actually finally, I think we have a solution. If we are elected, we would propose to create a department for water quality. So that way we actually have scientists who will be working with the issues. City council members are not scientists and not experts. We must have experts to work on such an important issue.
Okay, all right. How would you propose the city change the budgeting process so as to involve more citizen involvement, in it?
We have to be more transparent when it comes to budgeting. And I think attending city council meetings for the citizens, residents are very important. We should not be wasting taxpayers' money irresponsibly. And the more we involve the residents, the better they will know where the money is spent.
You understand we have a process that begins about in May.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing is many of the people are gone
Yes.
in May. Okay. Would you suggest any changes to that?
I would probably do more of a moving towards the November time period.
No,
So
you can't. Because of the state law requires you to set your budget, okay, by the end
but we need
September.
we need to be more we need to involve citizens better into the budgeting, what's going on in our budget. So which means that maybe do more forums, maybe do more of involving in correspondence.
Okay, all right. Are you're familiar with the city's advisory committees, correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you think that they are structured in the proper way? And if not, how would you change it?
I think that city advisory committees are each councilman or councilwoman appoints a committee member for the water advisory or planning board. That's correct, right?
That's
And I
correct.
don't think I would change it. What I think we need to do a better job of reviewing the resumes and expertise of the applicants for the water committee to become committee members, because they are advisors. They are not decision makers, and in order to be able to advise, you must know something about it, I would say. So I don't think I would change anything, but what I would do, we should do a better job picking the qualified candidates. It should not. I don't think we should pick by who you know or what you know. It's just qualified advisors.
Okay. How can the city more effectively deal with communication with its residents?
Forums, newsletters, and reaching out to. I think we need to have a direct line to the residents, and in order to do that, we have city council meetings. We have our website. We need to do. I would suggest reaching out to them with the newsletters. We do the like online newsletters. If people residents will sign up for the newsletters, and we can send it to them, to each resident via email. And plus, we have to be more open, inviting them to come and get more involved in a process of the city council, this is their home. They need to know more what's going on here.
Okay. You're familiar with code enforcement?
Yes.
And you mentioned it before. What improvements do you see that could be made in code enforcement and how we carry that particular job out?
Thank you for that question. I think the code enforcement is very important to keep the order. We should not just be always dependent on the police. I think code enforcement should be dealing with short-term rental issues. We should have, and would be much better if perhaps we add more personnel if we need it. We have to look at the budget, what's going on, and how much we can use it. And I think even that, I would say that when there is a short-term rental complaint, code enforcement should be dealing with it. And if there is an issue, serious issue we're talking about, then they should be connecting to the police, the Marco Island Police Department. So they should be very important on our island to keep the order.
Okay. The environment is really an economic driver to the community itself. And we've broken this out into about 2 or 3 different areas, and we're going to ask you about each of them. As of September, one of the local reports that we've gotten is a disorientation of the sea turtles making their way, okay, to the Gulf of Mexico. Marco got the gold medal, it seems, or not a gold medal, but a bad medal, okay, for the simple fact that we had more disoriented crawls, okay. In other words, they never made it to where they were supposed to be going. How would you deal with, or improvements that could be made, okay, to the enforcement to ensure that we don't have that particular distinction?
Thank you for the question. We had a meeting with the code enforcement agents, as a matter of fact, and it happens to be the ordinance for the condos, the lighting ordinance, that they have to have a certain lighting in their condo homes, because if the lights are too bright, turtles get disoriented and they will take the wrong path. I think we need to enforce much stricter that lighting ordinances in the condo homes, and if they will not follow it, we should give them fines.
That presently goes on now.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is to increase the amount of enforcement that is
Absolutely,
done.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Would you endorse the city buying a plan where the city, through taxation, buys more conservation areas on the island, knowing full well that the county presently has a conservation ordinance?
I will not. I will not I will never suggest to increase taxpayers' money for Marco Island. I think it is a wonderful thing that we have this conservation Collier is doing that. We have plenty money. We have bought properties, and it's important for an environment. First of all, it checks the overdevelopment, and we also save the endangered species as owls and tortoises. No, I would not suggest to increase the taxpayers' money of Marco Island.
Okay. Water quality. That's something that you are very focused in on. And recently the city opted out of monthly testing. Would you be a proponent of going back to monthly testing versus quarterly testing the way they've gone now?
Absolutely. And here is the reason why. I live on a canal, and I see the change in my water, quality of the canal. We've been testing also water of Gulf of Mexico. And I know we say that, oh, it's the same water. It is the same water. But when you look at the canals, the algae, that I do not see those fishes that I used to have in a canal. So I will absolutely suggest monthly testing of water quality.
Okay. Should the public be notified of a rise in the bacterial content of the water around Marco if it rises to the point that it's unsafe?
Absolutely. This has to be, we're talking, without clean water, we have nothing. We are a barren island that we are surrounded by water. And residents have the right to know what's going on in our water. Absolutely, we have to warn them.
Well, we did the septic tank replacement program, which took us all off of, all people on the island, off of septic tanks, and finished the centralized sewer system. Where do you think this is coming from? The higher bacterial.
Me personally, like I said, I'm not an expert, but we have discussed with many scientists and many citizen scientists and experts. They are suggesting that there is a leak from the reused water going into our waterways. So we're talking about fertilizer, and it's not enough filtration for the reused water.
Okay, and you're sending it back completely onto the city. It's the city's problem, although areas that surround us still have septic tanks.
You're talking about the Isles of Capri and
Wherever.
well, we have to replace them, but
We don't have
we don't have to replace them. Isles of Capri is part of Collier County. Marco Island has nothing to do with that. So I think we should challenge Collier County to take a better action of they're building 3 more towers in Isles of Capri, and obviously they are going to do the replacement of the septic tank. But Marco Island should push more on Collier County to do a better job than maybe changing the septic into the sewer.
Okay. All right. Let me see here. We've had an explosion of growth, okay, on the island. One of the things that people are concerned about, are we still getting the quality of building styles, okay, on the island that we had originally? Or would you recommend some type of architectural review committee?
I know when the city was built, the houses were only like 1 story, very tiny, very cute. And well, I think we need to look into it. I'm not an expert in that, but we know that we have a comprehensive plan that I know that our infrastructure can hold on only so much. So if we need to create the architectural review committee to see how much of a bigger houses we have to get, we can look into it.
Okay. All right. We're going to do a wrap up here and completely off of the questions that have been asked to you. Okay, for you to speak to the residents of the island and tell them why you want to be a city council person.
Okay, I want to be a city council person because past 3 years I've seen so much divide, in so much division in this such a lovely, charming town. It brought me from my retirement to come out and serve you. I've seen the decrease in our water quality. I've seen a decrease in respect of our residents, and I think we need to. My most important goal is to unify us and to serve you, to take our Marco Island to the direction that everybody's happy here. Everybody waking up and going to work or enjoying the beaches. So we are one unified community that saves this beautiful, charming town from overdevelopment and overpopulation. And we have to make sure that our residents are not ignored. We also respect tourists. We also respect businesses. That's why we're here, to have a one unified community. And I hope you will vote for me on the 5th of November.
Very good, Tamara. Appreciate your time
How
here
did I do?
today, and you did wonderful. Anyhow, this is Steve Stefanides. This will be the final interview that we do for candidates for City Council. We hope that you'll view all of them a number of different times, and we appreciate your time that you're giving to us today. Thank you very much, and best of luck, Tamara.
Thank you.
Okay.